And so that's how I market it. I do market specifically to Black women, although we have male customers, quite a few of them. We also have African American customers as well. So, but my passion is African American Black women. You know, I'm passionate about it because I want us to burn with intention. And Rhonda mentioned intention. Intention is so big for me. That is my word. It has been my word for the last probably few years. And everything that I do, I try to do it with intention. And even as I share with the ladies who purchase, I ask them to burn with intention. Meaning that, you know, don't just burn because you're trying to cover up, you know, the bathroom smell, or you burn something in the kitchen and you're trying to cover it up, you know, but really burn. And so that's where the names come in. So we have Black Girl Magic, we have Drama Free, we have Clarity, we have Favoring Fair, you know, and so, you know, whatever, yeah, those are the new ones. And so whatever you're going through, or whatever it is you feel that you need, you know, grab it with intention. You know, if you need some serenity, grab serenity. If you feel you need, peace of mind, grab peace of mind. Just whatever it is that you feel you need, grab it and burn it with intention. And also I noticed that, especially within our culture, I know when I was growing up, it seemed like right before, I was born in 69, right before I grew up, I kind of missed that hippie stage, where it seemed like people were kind of burning with intention then. And then it seemed like when I grew up, it was more so people thought if you were burning incense, you were burning to cover up weed or some type of drugs, but it really seemed like it lost some of the spiritual significance that it used to carry. And so for me, I was guided to really focus on bringing that back to the forefront, so that when we burn with intention. And so that is our primary, thank you, baby. That's our primary mission with Incense, Love, and Meditation. And on my social media posts, I share about different things. I'm really passionate about self-care, self-love, and those ways in which we can be intentional. And that's what I really love about the incense, is because it kind of slows us down a little bit to be more intentional, so that when we do burn, so I was gonna share just 5 different ways in which we could look at incense from a therapeutic point of view. I have it, baby.
Could I do it?
Well, you gonna do it with me? You wanna do it with me?
I want to do it.
You wanna do it with me? Well, you can do it with me, okay? And so, so one of the first ways is when we wake up in the morning.
Hey.
Deja.
You starting yet?
Is when we wake up in the morning.
Wait, that's not number 1.
That's not number 1?
Okay, yeah, it is.
Number 1.
So
okay.
wait, so 5 ways to incorporate incense is number 1.
Okay, so I'm just starting. Can I just do number 1 first? Okay. And so number 1 is when you wake up in the morning. And I've really been, because she knows, she's like, and she'll smell stuff for me, and she'll say, I don't know about that one, Mommy. I don't know about that one. And so I really do try to get her into it, because I also play the singing crystal bowls and different things. And so I try to incorporate her into the various self-care tools that I incorporate for myself, so that she learns how to incorporate these into her own self-care practices as she begins to grow. And so number 1 is when you wake up in the morning, really being intentional about burning that and kind of lifting. I find that when I wake, I burn, usually I'll burn something that is going to kind of energize me. I'm not really a morning person, not really a strong one, but one that's going to just energize me. So it could be, I like Black Girl Magic in the morning. That's a pretty good one that has some sandalwood. It has a little bit of patchouli, and it's funny, who in here are patchouli people? Any patchouli people? Patchouli is an oil, essential oil. But I know some people are not necessarily. They'll tell me, I say, well, tell me what you don't like, so that I'll make sure I don't pack that up for you. And they say, oh, nothing with patchouli. But yet they'll tell me their Black Girl Magic is their favorite one, right? And it has patchouli in it. So it's not necessarily the base of the incense, but it's a scent that helps to invigorate you and helps to get you going in the morning. It helps to kind of set the intention for your day. So waking up in the morning is one of the ways that I recommend that people begin to burn. And then if you're gonna do some type of meditation, what was that next? Number 2. Give me number 2.
You're right.
Number 2, meditation. If you're going to do some type of meditation that helps to kind of settle your mind, vanilla, lavender. A lot of people usually incorporate lavender only when they go to bed, but lavender is really settling. It settles the mind, so I always recommend that for meditation. We have a pear vanilla that's really nice. Ylang-ylang. So it just depends on what type of meditation you're doing and how long you're meditating. You know, if you only have a short period of time to meditate, or if you have a longer period of time. But meditation is a really good place where you can incorporate your incense. And so, what do I have for number 3?
I have so many.
I could literally burn incense around the clock. I could find any reason to burn incense.
Number 3, working with clients or to shift your energy during the day.
Yes. So if you work with clients of any kind, I know you do, Rhonda, but even if you're in a social work field or whatever field, if you come in contact with a lot of people, incense is a great way to burn and kind of shift the energy from all of the energy that's coming at you during the course of a day. And so it doesn't even really matter if it's necessarily good energy or bad energy, just shifting the energy so that it kind of realigns you back to, you know, where you were. So that's a good place. If you have a lot of people coming in and out of your house, that's a good opportunity to burn incense, kind of shift some of the energy. I recommend copal. I actually have that burning at the door now.
I love that copal. That's a nice one. Yeah.
And so that's a really great one that clears energy. I know a lot of people. I'm a sage girl, but not a really big sage girl. Copal kind of does the same thing as sage, but copal is really known to bring in positive energy. Sage clears negative energy and it draws in positive energy, but copal is really great after you burn your sage to kind of draw in that positive energy. So I'm a really big fan of copal. So I love copal. And let's see, number 4. What's my number 4?
Number 4 is to unwind from your day.
Yes. And so when you get in the evening to unwind, it's really nice to burn incense. Sandalwood. Some people, I find that's a scent too that people kind of love or hate, but that's a really grounding scent. It's a really great scent to just help you to just leave some of that worry from the day behind. So when you get in from the evening, and I always recommend, depending on if you are an incense burner, I always tell people I'm a OG incense burner, so I can kind of sit up under the smoke a little bit. It doesn't bother me much. But if you're pretty new to it, or if it just bothers you, you don't have to have it. Yes, you don't have to have it right under you. You can have it at a distance and still get the benefit of it. So if you're taking your bath in the evening, you may not want to put it directly in the bathroom with you, because especially if you're going to close the door, because that may be a lot. But just to have it around, to have it in your bedroom, and that's where, you know, your lavender comes in at. Your serenity, we have serenity, tranquility. That's what I recommend during those times, those scents that's gonna calm you down, not necessarily recharge you towards the day when you should be winding down. Also, speaking of baths, any bath people in here?
Okay, I'll go get it.
You wanna go, just get a couple of colors.
I'll just get one of each.
Well, it's only one of each out there, so just pick like 3 colors. Just pick 3. So I'm really big on color energy as well. And so we have some color dyes, non-toxic dyes that you can put in your bath. And so each color, just like our senses, our scents represent, and lift our vibrations. Colors do the same thing as well. And so that's why you notice, like, if you go to a hospital, you won't see like a bright red room, because room is like energizing. You'll see more of the subtle pastels, to kind of calm you down. And so the color baths are really great for that. Especially to incorporate that with your incense as well. You can pass those around if you want to, though. And then, and so those are just some of the color baths, and those are really nice to incorporate. Put your essential oils in with those, and light your incense outside your door, and so that you don't overpower yourself with the smoke. Yeah, and yeah, so that's unwinding from your evening. And then the fifth one, what do I have down here for 5? So 5 is to invoke memories.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so we know with the 5 senses, so all of our 5 senses are important, but they say that our sense of smell is the one that has the best memory. And I find that very interesting, because we would think like our sight, if we remember something, but they find just scientifically that our smell has the best memory out of everything. And so it's really taste? Great, even more so than taste. Even more so
what
than
about
taste.
Your sight?
Even more so.
What if you eat carrots every day?
So if you're looking to like invoke some type of memories, and it's strange because I remember in my early 20s I started working in the nonprofit field, and we were working in an apartment, and they transitioned the apartments into our offices. And so my office was in the basement, and it was next door to the substance abuse counselor. And so, it's kind of dank down there. And I said, I'm going to bring my incense in and kind of, liven it up. And so she came to me one day and she said, would you mind not burning your incense, because it can trigger the clients, those clients that were in recovery. So remember, some of them were burning when they were doing drugs to try to cover up the smell. So that memory of smelling the incense could actually trigger them into wanting to, get high again. And so that's when I first started learning about the power of the memory of the smell. And I was like, wow, I hadn't thought about that. But I had to respect it, because it was very important. And that's another thing. I have people ask me, one of my customers, she said that her neighbor, she said, my neighbor doesn't care for the incense, but I really need to burn my incense. What do you recommend that I do? And I always recommend that, first of all, that we burn respectfully, because everybody can't handle the smoke. They, for whatever reason, can't handle it, don't like it. It just bothers them. And so what I recommended to her is that, because obviously if there's tension, you're not really going to get the full benefit of the burn, because you want to be at peace when you're burning, is to try to burn, like if she lives on one side of the apartment, maybe try to burn on the other side of the apartment. Or if she works the day shift, you work the night shift, maybe try to burn when she's not at home. But the main thing is burn respectfully. And even her dad, he's not really a big incense person, and I'm incense clean. So I'm like, he's working during the day, I work from home. So usually during the day I'm burning, and then in the evening I'm wrapping up my burns, unless it's just something where I really need to shift my energy.
Sleep, and then
I may burn it while he sleeps, yes. But if I'm trying to, really shift my energy, or if I'm feeling that I'm vibrating on a low frequency, and I need to really burn, then I will go ahead and burn. But I do try to make sure that I'm burning respectfully, because if there's tension, then I'm not really getting the full benefit of the power of the incense, because now I have negative energy that I'm having to deal with. So just remember to burn respectfully as well. And so those are just 5 ways in which you can incorporate incense into your therapeutic rituals, but there's so many other ways in which you can incorporate them. So
Yeah, that was
does
great.
anybody have any questions?